Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion, located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street, in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. It's everything you never needed to know. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
How much time in major U.S. cities do people spend in traffic?
What is the pig's eye test in law? Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy, and this week we scoured the internet to find out these useless tidbits just for you.
Plus, we'll answer your question in the mailbag segment, what does a flashbulb moment mean? And in the news, Port Orchard chicken safe after feather-ruffling home abduction by the owner's ex.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
All rise! Totally Useless Information Court is now in session.
This is Totally Useless Law Information with Nick and Roy. Objection. Overruled.
Yeah. So I think down in the United States only, you guys have a thing called the Miranda rights, right? You have the right to remain.
You have to read them before you're arrested.
Well, up here in Canada, we don't have that. And I'll get that to that in a moment. But the concept of Miranda rights was enshrined in U.S. law following the 1966 Miranda versus Arizona Supreme Court decision, which found that the Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights of Ernesto Arturo Miranda had been violated during his arrest and trial for armed robbery, kidnapping, and rape of a woman. Now, the Supreme Court invalidated his conviction, Miranda's conviction, because it was tainted by the use of the confession that had been obtained through improper interrogation. And so the state of Arizona retried him because of that. So that's the Miranda rights. There was a guy named Miranda. In Canada, we don't have Miranda rights per se, but we have similar protections under our Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, including the right to remain silent, and most people ask us to do so, and the right to counsel.
Singapore. You better enjoy sitting in a restaurant and eating a meal.
Why?
Okay? Because it's illegal. You will be arrested and fined for eating or drinking while walking in public.
No. Really?
Yes. Could you imagine eating or drinking? So I guess if you're walking around with a water bottle, you can be arrested while drinking it. I guess you could walk around with it, but not drink it.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
because maybe they're not sure what's in the bottle. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. You never know. And you know what happens in Singapore stays in Singapore.
Apparently. I think it was a case years and years and years ago where someone was in Singapore was flogged because they spit on the ground or something. They're really strict over there. So beautiful place to visit, but be careful what you do or don't do. My God.
Yeah, some people enjoy a good flogging.
Yes. Go flog yourself. So
Sounds like high school, huh?
sounds like last Saturday night for some. So here's my teaser: the pig's eye test. The phrase "burst a pig's eye." Have you ever heard of that?
Burst a pig's eye?
Yeah.
I've heard the pig's eye.
Okay,
but
I'll
I've
get
never
to
heard-
that expression. That's an idiom. But the phrase "burst a pig's eye" refers to a
Don't
method.
call me that.
No, I didn't call you a pig. But it's
No, you said an idiom.
Oh no, no, you idiot! It's an
You're
idiom.
an idiom.
Yes. You know, to coin a phrase, you're an idiom. Anyway.
Coin a phrase. Now we got to look that one up.
It's totally useless information after all. So the pig's eye test used to determine if a gun or barreled object is capable of causing serious bodily injury or death, specifically by assessing its ability to penetrate or rupture rupture an eye. So the test
Oh.
involves shooting pellets at the corneas of pigs' eyes, poor pigs, which are similar in size and composition of human eyes. And this is actually something in the court of law here in Canada. It was developed by the firearms section of the Royal Mounted Canadian Police, RCMP, to determine the capabilities of a barreled object for causing serious death or bodily injury. So they shoot at pigs' eyes to see if that pellet had enough force to rupture its eye, then it's considered to be a problem.
So let me just say this to all Canadians.
Yes.
Next time you're on a farm and
Yes.
you're walking by
Yes.
a blind pig, thank them. Thank
That's
them.
right. So you
for
said
their
it in the pig's eye.
contribution.
So it is a contribution. So and this is where it's sort of like an offshoot of this, pun intended. In a pig's eye is the idiom, which it's used to express strong
You mean we're
disagreement.
going on with this, Nick?
Yes. Well, I promised the audience that I was going to explain what a pig's eye is. It's basically used to express strong disagreement with this topic, apparently, or to suggest something cannot happen in a pig's eye.
Yeah, so to thank the pigs, let's take these glasses, Nick, and
That's right.
here's looking at you.
Yes, or not.
It is illegal. Yes, illegal to drive while blindfolded in the state of New Jersey. I don't know, but they could have fooled me because have you ever driven in New Jersey?
I have.
I think they are blindfolded, and if they're not, then
Well,
they're
maybe
severely
so
handicapped.
that's interesting. So it's illegal. So what happens? I guess you get pulled over. How do you know you're being pulled over if you're blindfolded?
Exactly. Why would you stop? You can't see the lights or the police car.
No.
I
Okay.
wouldn't do that
So
either.
based on the last fact, so maybe what if there's a blind pig who's driving? Would it be illegal for a blind
Exactly.
pig?
The blind pig doesn't even need to be blindfolded. It's an
It's blind.
oxymoron. It's redundant.
Just like totally useless information with Nick and Roy. By the
Now,
way,
if you could look those two words up for me, I'd appreciate it.
100%. Well, that was the thing about it in school. They would say, if you don't know how to spell something, look it up in the dictionary. Now, wait a minute. If you don't know how to spell something, how do you know where to start?
Exactly.
Okay. By the way, I never thank the audience for listening to us. Thank you. You're listening to Total Useless Information with Nick and Roy. You've probably been reminded, but over 80 countries are now listening to us. We really appreciate your support. We have a law up here in Canada. It's called the Jordan Decision, and it establishes a timeline that trials must be heard by this amount of time after the charges are laid in order for the province's main entry point into the court system. So in other words, it has to be the trial must begin within this period of time. It's called the Jordan Decision. The amount of time, 18 months. After 18 months of being charged or charges are laid, in order for a province to put the case into the court system, it can be no more than 18 months. Otherwise, they'll get thrown out. The Jordan Decision.
Okay. So I think we have something like that too down here. I
forget what it-
remember.
I don't know if
think
there's
it's
a-
like 2 years.
But I don't know if there's a name for it specifically, but they say the right to a speedy trial, I think, is something along those lines.
Yeah, I think it's 24 months or something like that.
Yeah, 18 Canadian, 24 U.S. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Well, that's the exchange.
Exactly.
In Switzerland,
Yeah.
I love this one. Guys, get ready for this. In Switzerland, you can be and will be arrested and fined
Oh,
if you have a lone goldfish.
what?
If you have a bowl with one goldfish in it, you will be arrested and fined. The law states all goldfish held in captivity must have a companion. Now, this got me to thinking
Yes.
because
Oh,
I'm
no.
warped.
Well,
If you're the owner of the fish store and you have 10 goldfish and sell 9 of them,
Right.
what do you do with the last one? Do you give it a flush?
no. No, what you do is you
You
turn.
have to kill it, Nick.
No,
it's
no,
alone, and you
no.
may subject to be arrested.
No. You turn the lights way down low and you made it.
Mhm.
So it creates another one.
Actually, if you're in England, you just make fish and chips.
That's right. With really small portions.
But that is a law. You will be arrested if you have a lone goldfish in captivity.
I think there were a few episodes ago that we talked about when we did law. I think I talked about it was one of the countries where it's illegal to have one ferret or something for the same reasons, right? They don't want a
Yeah.
ferret or
Because
hamster
you have
or
two
something.
legs to your pants, you know.
That's right. Although apparently, was it last week we talked about the one-legged gene? So it all ties together on totally useless
Yeah,
information.
somehow
right?
it bizarrely ties together.
It is. Listen, laugh, and learn is what we say. So here's a bylaw in Victoria, British Columbia, out in the West Coast. It's a bagpipe bylaw, and it has some pretty extensive regulations governing the street performers in British Columbia and Victoria, including a special section related specifically to bagpipers. So if you're
You want to do that.
if you're a street performer, that's fine. But if you're a street performer and you're playing bagpipes, well, the rules are laid out where and when the bagpipers can pipe, and legislation that states that a bagpiper cannot perform at the same time as another street entertainer whose performance includes the bagpipes. So one bagpipe
You don't
at
want
a
a
time.
double bagpipe. You don't,
No.
you know, because that's like the dance off. You have a
Yeah.
bagpipe off.
Well, how
It's no
about
good.
this? Well, here's the thing. Sadly,
Very confusing.
well, it is. But here's the thing. Sadly, it eliminates the possibility of ever hearing dueling bagpipes.
Yeah, you're never going to hear that, Nick.
No.
You know, and the last thing you want is a drunken Scot playing with his pipe in public.
Somehow that's code for something else for some reason. Wow.
There is a state
Yes.
that has made it illegal
Yeah.
to use an ATM in a library.
Shh.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
Shh.
I said.
What?
I said.
What?
No.
Oh.
Okay. So get ready for this now. As if the people of this state even read or buy books.
Oh, no. By the way, our email is located on our website, nickandroy.com. Click on Contact Us.
Yes. The state of California.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God. They've made it illegal to use an ATM in a library.
Why?
I have no clue. Could you imagine? You owe $35 on this book. Well, let me go over to that ATM. You're under arrest.
Why?
So the $35? No, for trying to use the ATM.
I think I know why. Because when you're using the ATMs, it's quite noisy, right? Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop. Maybe that's the reason why.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
Hi, Nick and Roy for Tom's Place, your destination for suits and menswear and the wonderful wedding contest where you can win $500 towards your wedding party.
And today, instead of Tom's fantastic deals, we want to highlight his neighbor, Kensington Health. They are a not-for-profit community care leader that provides specialized services, including hospice and palliative care.
Join their hike on Sunday, May the 4th and support compassionate expert care right in our backyard. Tom's Place is supporting this important event.
So join us because every step counts. Register at kensingtonhealth.org/hike. That's kensingtonhealth.org/hike.
On behalf of Tom's Place, thanks for your support.
We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Thank you very much for listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. No matter how you spell it, we really appreciate you listening. This is what we also appreciate, and more people are doing this. They're going to our website, nickandroy.com. They're clicking on the Nick and Roy store, and here's what happens. You find some amazing stuff on there, including the opportunity for you to order a very special birthday message for your loved one.
Yes, and there's a little box that says listen to a sample.
Mm-hmm.
When you go to nickandroy.com and you click on the Nick and Roy store, you can listen to a sample of our birthday messages. Guys, listen to me. I'm not joking when I say this. Please do it. It is a fantastic gift. It makes gift buying very easy, number one, and the person you buy it for will be flipped out. I guarantee you that they are going to call you up and say, thank you so much. That is the greatest gift I've ever gotten. Listen to it and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's a mini totally useless information show done by Nick and I. And it's not one of those stupid things where we go, hey, happy birthday from Nick and Roy. You know, it's not that.
Nope.
It's an actual show about the year and the date that they were born. information about it, and then if you give us some tidbits about what sports they like and so on, we customize it. Listen to it, you'll love it. It's fantastic. nickandroy.com. Tap on the Nick and Roy store.
Here's the thing: when we get an order, I make it a point to talk to the person who ordered it, just to say hello and thank them, of course, for supporting Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. And using the conversation, they're more amazed about what the final product is than the birthday person as well. So we do take a lot of time and effort. And by the way, we had a special birthday recently, Reno from Pizza. And we did a birthday message for him, and we asked the mayor of Niagara Falls, Mayor Diodati, to record a message. And here's another part of this reason why I'm bringing this up. You have an opportunity, once you order the birthday message, you can actually record your own voice as well to wish that loved one a birthday message. And so we will incorporate that in our presentation. It's you say it's a unique gift. No one else has it. You go to nickandroy.com and click on the Nick and Roy store. nickandroy.com.
This is Totally Useless Vehicle Information with Nick, Meet, and Roy. Vroom, vroom.
In all the years that we've done this show, 5+ now, and in all the episodes that we've done the car segment, vehicle segment, people have asked me, who is Meep Meep and why am I Meep Meep and you're not? And
I'm Vroom Vroom.
You're Vroom Vroom, and the reason why you're Vroom Vroom is I can't really disclose because my lawyer told me not to. So check this out. We have cars that are efficient, fuel efficient. They're green cars. They're like hybrid cars. They're electric cars. All different kinds.
I prefer a white or a silver car, Nick. Green cars don't do it for me.
But here's the thing: cars were considered a green method of transport when they were first invented because horses at that time caused so much pollution with their poop. Therefore, the car
was been all over the streets, right?
The cars were a green option versus a brown option.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, think about that.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
You parked your horse outside the store and boom.
No, you parked your horse outside and plop.
Sir Alec Guinness is one of my favorite actors. So anyway, Sir Alec Guinness was doing a film either in the same studio or with James Dean. And he walked up to James Dean after James Dean showed him his new Porsche 550 Speedster Spider.
Yeah.
And Alec Guinness said to him, if you think you're going to drive around in that car, you'll be dead by this time next week. And sure as hell, James Dean died that next week.
No,
in a car crash,
really?
In the Porsche Spider. Yes.
Yikes.
Was it an omen or was he using the force?
Yes. One only knows. My goodness gracious. So we all are familiar with most of the cars. Traditional cars have steering wheels. Except for the...
Maybe yours does.
Well, it's supposed to. But
Mine has the original 2 strings that came with it.
Well, just about. Prior to the invention of the steering wheel, drivers used a lever to steer the car.
Oh, no.
Steering wheels were invented in Cleveland, Ohio by a man named Alexander Winton. Back in 1896, he began a series of inventions relating to cars, and his most known invention is the steering wheel.
So they used a lever, kind of more like a plane, I would assume, like a joystick.
Pretty much, yeah. But look, because when you said you used 2 strings...
In fact, that's what the girls used to call me in high school.
Plane?
No, joystick.
Oh, okay. Absolutely, yeah. Those of you who don't know, and if you don't remember, Roy and I...
Wonderful and amazing. In fact, some of them called me God many times.
They did. Oh, God. Yes, we... if you don't know our story, Roy and I are best friends for... This is what? The year that we're recording this particular episode is 2025. We met in 1979. That was 46 years ago.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.
Okay, let's not think about it. How
not
about
the age, the fact that I met you.
Oh, okay. Yes, as you can tell, we've been best friends since 1979.
Okay, ready? I love this one. The U.S. leads the world with a total of 300 million vehicles. Now, I think we discussed that.
Yeah, we did. Sounds
that
familiar.
The U.S. Okay, 300 million vehicles driving around on U.S. roads. or in some cases not.
Right.
In New Jersey with blindfolds on.
Hey, yo.
But, yeah, but China, with over 2 billion people. Now think about it, 360 million in the US, 2 billion in China. China only has 78 million cars on the roads of China.
Oh,
That's amazing. We have roughly almost like one car per person, and they have 78 million for 2 point some odd billion people. God only knows when the last time they counted everybody.
yeah. Well, they're still counting. So Volkswagen, we know, is a manufacturer of vehicles, right? You know that, right? Volkswagen. What country are they from?
I think they're the largest, Nick.
They are. What country is Volkswagen from? Germany.
Deutschland, Deutschland, über. Okay,
You're okay now? You got it out of your system?
it's out.
So
It's
the
out.
best
That
selling.
and the sauerbraten I had last night.
So you would think that, yes. Well, it's funny you should say that. Funny you should say that because the best selling product at Volkswagen isn't the Golf. It isn't the Tiguan or even the Beetle. The best selling product that Volkswagen makes is sausage, or the Volkswagen Currywurst. Has its own part number. Write this down. 199-398-500A. Okay? It's been rolling off the production line at the firm's Wolfsburg factory for nearly, over 50 years now, and is sold in Volkswagen's canteens, German supermarkets, and football stadiums. So currywurst.
Currywurst?
Wurst, yeah, currywurst.
Yeah.
So Volkswagen, yeah, so...
Yeah, a wurst is nothing more than like a sausage or a cold cut.
Right, and so the part number, once again, in case you're wondering, is 199-398-500A.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a song, but I'm going to change it to 8675309.
If you grew up in the 80s, you know exactly what he's talking about.
That's true. Or in our case, we never grew up. In the U.S., okay, the average driver, this was my teaser,
Yeah.
sits in traffic for 51 hours annually.
What?
Now, that's the average driver. So that's averaging people that live in like Kentucky,
Yes.
where there are no cars.
No.
Just Jed, who has a pickup truck down the block, gets people to the doctor.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of country
But in
songs.
Chicago,
Yeah.
you will spend 155 hours annual. They're number one. Chicago is number one for traffic. Boston, number two at 134. But you know who made the list, which surprises me? Miami.
Oh.
And my son lived in Miami for a year. He said it was the worst traffic he had ever experienced. And he probably is right, because 105 hours.
So I've been driving since 1982, and I calculated.
Well, you call it you call it driving.
That's when the license was issued. So I calculated it was I have sat in traffic since I started driving 2,193 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
You counted it, Nick?
I think so.
Nick has nothing better to do.
No, it's useless.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. Totally useless information with Nick and Roy continues. Listen, laugh, and learn.
I love this one. This is the one.
Yeah.
The dashboard.
Yes.
Okay. We call it the dashboard, right?
Yeah.
You don't think about why would we call it the dashboard?
Was it some guy named Dash?
No. It was to dash away the mud.
No, really?
It was a piece of wood placed in the front of the people to dash the mud away from the horses that were running with the carriage. And it became a place to, like, I guess, hang something or put something.
Yeah.
So when the original cars came out, they said, oh, that's like the dashboard. And it becomes the dashboard.
Dashboard. Oh, wow. I like that. That's excellent.
Deflect mud from the horses, the horse-drawn carriages. Wow.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I like that one. That's so cool.
That's why we say on the show, listen, laugh, and learn, because Roy and I learn from each other as well, because, yes, we're hosts of the show.
Well, speak for me, Nick.
I just did. So, I mean, we come up with the topics, but we don't reveal the facts until we do it on the show to ourselves. So we're presenting to each other the same way that you're learning it at the same time. So thank you for joining us over.
Two things, too.
Yes.
Folks, we have learned in the last 5 years, the same way everybody else has learned.
Yeah.
We have learned most of these crazy, nutty facts.
Useless, yeah.
And it's really, it's changed my life, because I know when I speak to people, I have interesting conversations about things that we've learned from this show, you know?
One of the
amazing.
first comments that we got when we started over 5 years ago was someone who contacted us and said, we want to thank you for your show. I'm thinking, okay, that's nice that you enjoy the show. But they said it was extremely helpful to them because they were extremely introverted, according to them. And they said that our show helped them start conversations. So I think that's
signed
good.
Nick.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Coming up next is the mailbag. But first... And now it's time for Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy as they present Dreams. Wake up. Wake up. Dreams.
What was that?
Get stuffed. Okay, so that wasn't me just telling you something. There's nothing. Do you sleep with a stuffed animal? Let me ask you this.
No, Nick. I gave that up a year ago.
Oh,
No,
well,
I don't sleep with a stuffed animal.
Okay,
but
but
thanks
here's
for asking.
But here's something.
Nick's a furry.
There's nothing.
Not on his head.
There's nothing wrong with having a stuffed animal as a grown-up, you know, to sleep with it. Like, there are lots of positives to it. You can.
I can think of a lot of reasons why not to do that. But go ahead.
A doctoral candidate in clinical psychology at the University of Pennsylvania and the father said that he also owns stuffed animals, not just his kids. It may sound unusual, but it's not really. So plush sales grew over the pandemic time, and in 2024, 21% of plush toys was sold to adults over 18, according to the U.S. Toys.
And we wonder why the world is going to hell in a handbasket.
Okay. Stuffed animals, quote, struck a chord with young adults and adults as a means to entertain, collect, and provide comfort during the pandemic. But that trend continued on. So it started during the pandemic, but now they're finding a lot of grown-ups, and there's nothing wrong with it, according to a clinical psychologist, to sleep with a stuffed animal.
I had a stuffed animal during COVID.
Did you?
It was a little uncomfortable for me having to keep a 6-foot distance from it, though. Wow. REM sleep is the rapid eye movement.
Yes.
Okay. You know what's funny? They say REM sleep is rapid eye movement, but it's not really. The rapid eye movement is a description that we get the term REM sleep. But the movement of the eye is actually the fact that you're having a vivid dream. And your eyes are literally looking all over the place as if you were searching for what you're dreaming about.
Right.
So
Okay.
the eye movement is the REM, not the eye movement just for the sake of eye movement, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not the speed of your eyes. It's the fact that they're moving.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that only occurs for 90 to 120 minutes per evening. So if you're sleeping for 8 hours,
right,
it's only happening for basically an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, unless Heidi Klum's in the dream, and that could go on for hours.
That's not the only thing that's moving fast. Our mind interprets the external stimuli that our senses are bombarded with when we're asleep, and we make that stimuli part of our dreams. This means that sometimes in our dreams, when we hear a sound from reality and incorporated into the dream in such a way. For example, you may be dreaming that you're at a concert, while your brother or someone is playing guitar while you're sleeping. So whatever stimulus that you're experiencing, you incorporate.
Did you ever hear my brother playing an instrument?
No.
Yeah, I would not think I was in a concert. Maybe a car crash.
Right. That's right.
Not a concert.
So basically, whatever you're listening to, or whatever you hear, you incorporate it as part of your dreams.
Yeah, I would think he's playing a harp right now.
Right, yeah. He is. Rest in peace, Ross. Rest in
Rest
peace.
his soul.
Yes.
Yes. This one got me. We all have dreams of loss and disappointment. Nick had them mostly in high school about his sexual escapades.
I'm sorry.
The dream of
what,
disappointment.
what did you say? The dreams were mostly of what? What do we dream about? Loss?
Loss and disappointment.
You're listening to Total Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Go on. I had to throw an idea in there for people to know what they're listening to. There, no problem.
So, when do we have those dreams most commonly as a species? When do we have those dreams? There's one time of the year when most of us have dreams of loss and disappointment, and that is during a couple of week period in December at Christmas time.
Really?
Yes. It's reported that most dreams of loss and disappointment happen with a few weeks before Christmas, especially dreams of deceased family members or friends. So loss and disappointment mostly dreamt during the holiday season of Christmas.
That's really interesting. I mean, there are many times you'll hear around that time, as much as a joyous season and celebration and things like that. But there are reports that it can be a really lonely time for some people.
Yeah, but think about how ironic it is. It is the season of birth. It is the season of Jesus. It is the season of love and giving.
Wow.
And yet we dream of loss and disappointment. Wild, right? That's
is.
the yin and the yang right there.
100%. Listen, laugh, and learn. So I was thinking one day, because I was out in the backyard, and I'm listening, and I'm looking, and there's some birds there, and I'm thinking, do birds dream? Because I think these things. I just have these thoughts. Yeah. Do birds dream?
Well, you're a bird brain.
Well, yeah. Which is why I have lots of things in common with birds, like rapid eye movement. You were talking about REM. So do birds dream? Well, guess what? Like humans, birds experience rapid eye movement during sleep and show brainwave activity similar to that of humans, which suggests that birds do, in fact, dream.
Right. Well, you have a lot in common with birds, Nick, like a little pecker.
Pecker hardly knew her.
Okay, my next one. I love this.
Yeah.
Hypnic jerk. No, not you, Nick.
Come on now. Be nice. Be nice.
The hypnic jerk. They're strong southern jerks or jolts during sleep, which are the result of dreams, usually of falling, car crash, sudden dreams. Now, the body has stops itself from moving so that you don't jump out of bed while you're walking in a dream, or just spin around all the time. But the hypnic jerk is when the body just can't resist the sudden shock of what it just thought about. And you literally just, you ever do that?
Yeah.
You almost wake yourself up like,
you feel it. Yeah, you do. You feel that jerking motion. Sure.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time with the Heidi Klum dream.
Oh, yeah. And there happens to be a stuffed animal nearby, allegedly.
Well, then when you wake up, you realize it's
just a stuffed toy, which gives a really curious look on your wife's face when you wake up and then you're hugging a stuffed animal.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. She loves it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
Here comes the groom. Is there an upcoming wedding on your calendar? Hi, Nick and Roy for Tom's Place. If you're the lucky groom, Tom is your best man and ready to make you and your wedding party look stunning on your big day.
Whether it's formal or casual, destination, celebration, traditional, or contemporary, they literally have you covered in clothes with their tailored suits and classic tuxedos, complete with all the accessories to help you shine in the spotlight.
Why rent when it's so affordable to buy an outfit that will serve you well for years? For the father of the bride or groom or a special guest needing elegant attire, Tom's Wedding Specialist help you save more and dress better. Discover more, including Canadian-made brands.
Make sure you enter the wonderful wedding contest at toms-place.com. That's toms tom's-place.com to win a $500 credit for your wedding party.
Tom's Place, 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of a Kensington Market in Toronto. Tom's Place will suit you.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
All right, this is a cool one.
Okay,
because
why?
I started reading it.
Why?
I love this one. Peter from Gainesville, Florida. I'm a professor at the University of Florida. Go Gators!
Uh-oh.
That's my son's alma mater. And
Yeah.
the alma mater says, once you're a Gator, you're a Gator for life.
All right.
And so at University of Florida, he's a professor. He says, I have to say, I believe we should have a class dedicated to totally useless information. You and Nick could become Professor Nick and Roy. He said, what do you think about that? And he says, it's a great show. And he goes on, but he says, it's a great show.
Yeah.
You guys should be proud of how much you bring to people in terms of education and fun. And he says, thank you from myself and my student listeners.
Oh, wow. That's really flattering. I really appreciate that. And yeah, we love what we do. And my email has something really similar to that. This is Lisa from Brampton, Ontario. Nick and Roy, what a refreshing program you have. You guys claim to offer useless information, but we think it is interesting, and we love listening to you both. Yeah, I've been told that before. Like, you call it useless, but it's really interesting. But this is the show, Totally Useless Information. Here's my question, she asked. What exactly is a flashbulb moment? And years ago, when we used to use flashbulbs for cameras, that's...
Do you remember?
I do remember. That's right. So
you get 4 flashes out of one bulb because it would spin.
So her question is, I've heard this expression, flashbulb moment. What does it mean? Thanks, and we look forward to hearing your answer. So a flashbulb moment for vivid, detailed memories of surprising, consequential, and emotionally arousing events. The term flashbulb memory was introduced in 1977 by Roger Brown and James Kulik, but the phenomena was known to scholars well before then. So the memories are initially believed to be accurate reflections of events. So basically, it's like it basically makes an impression on your brain. On the show today, we talked about law, we talked about cars, we talked about dreams. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
A chicken named Polly is safe after a brief but intense abduction from her home on Saturday. It was quite recent in Kitsap
What is
County.
Polly?
She's a chicken.
A chicken named Polly.
Right. It's safe now after a brief but intense abduction. The call for help came early in the morning in March from a woman who said her former boyfriend invaded her unincorporated Port Orchard. The woman said, said that the man kicked in her back door while shouting, "I've got Polly," several times.
Oh, so he abused her as well.
"I've got Polly," he said several times before running away with her chicken. I have some audio.
Show me your hands. That's fine. Just hold your chicken. I'm not going to hurt your chicken. Stand up.
He was still clutching the chicken as he was taken into custody. Polly the chicken, who was unharmed, was returned to her family.
So it's a happy ending.
Where was this, Nick?
In Port Orchard, which doesn't say exactly where that is, but...
Port Orchard has to be the place that nobody ever goes. Okay, because the big news is the chicken abduction.
Well, it is, because after the search, and you heard some of the audio there, the authorities found the man.
This was a standoff, Nick.
He was hiding in the woods.
Yeah.
He was clutching the chicken, as it said, as he was arrested. Deputies allowed him to place the chicken into the patrol unit before booking him on charges of...
Safely. Right. Well, he threatened the woman with it was probably his lawyer, but the man was dressed in a white suit with a little goatee, and she thought it was a threat to Polly. I'll give it to Colonel Sanders.
That's right, yeah. Don't you pull rank on me. Port Orchard, by the way, is a city in Washington State. Okay? So
maybe he was henpecked.
Right, sure. He was ruffling some feathers. So they booked him on charges of residential burglary and violating an order of protection. So I guess like a restraining order. Is that what that is? Order of protection?
Yeah, they had a restraining order on this guy. He's not right.
No. Well, the man is 50 years old. He was in custody, and he was released 2.5 hours before this crime.
The incident?
The incident.
So he was released, gave him just enough time to go to the supermarket and buy about 32 ounces of Crisco oil to cook the chicken.
Yes, and some barbecue sauce. Right?
He said, your goose is cooked.
No, it's not my goose, it's my chicken. So yeah, they don't identify the man, but he was in jail, and after 2.5 hours, he went back to his former girlfriend's house, and he stole the chicken. And Polly the chicken, as you heard, is returned back to her family, and Polly is safe and sound.
Well, the chicken was clearly in a frightful stage because you didn't even hear the chicken. There was a lot of speaking going on, but the chicken was either muted or possibly he had put some sort of binding over the chicken's beak.
Maybe.
So that the chicken couldn't scream.
No, it put a little blindfold on it. It put a blindfold on on the chicken.
Those little glasses that they put on the rooster.
Yeah, that's right. Because he didn't want to show the chicken, Polly, the chicken where he was taking her.
You know, folks, we had on the show, that's where the rose-colored glasses come from. They put them on the hens. That's right. So they see things in the rose color.
That's right. Exactly. See, listen.
Yeah, but now, okay, so I can't get this out of my head.
Why not?
The man stole the chicken. Yeah. Took the chicken hostage. He clearly did that because he was screaming to her, I have Polly.
That's right. That's what he said. But as they describe it, police describe it as a brief but intense abduction.
Oh, it's just intense. Of course it's intense.
Yeah.
You're running around with a chicken. How did he hold the chicken? By the neck?
I don't know, but he was running around with a chicken around his neck or something.
Yeah. You don't run around with a naked chicken.
Well, we didn't say it was naked. No, well, you
the
would.
Chicken's naked. Yeah. I've seen chickens wear clothes.
Yeah.
Maybe the man was naked and gave the chicken his clothes. I don't know.
That's all the time.
I don't know enough about this.
No, we don't. All we know is
the man serving time for this.
No, he was released, and no, he was charged. No. He was charged, and so
he's charged. He's probably right now. He's working the prison fryer. He's in the kitchen.
Finger licking good. That's all the time we have for this episode.
He's sitting there, when I get out, you're done, Polly.
That's all the time we have for this episode of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We will scour the internet far and wide to find more totally useless information just for you.
And where else can you go to get this type of pertinent news? Okay.
Useless, yes.
It's a wing and a prayer, I tell you.
A great name for a podcast, a wing and a prayer. It's a chicken who goes, listen, I just came up with an idea. Here's our next podcast project. Nick and Roy present a wing and a prayer. It's a chicken who goes to church. Tell the people what to do.
Listen, folks, we love the fact that our listeners have so much input in this program, and we thank everyone that tells us the same thing that we're telling people to listen, and we have friends that are listening, and our whole family is listening. We thank you so much. 85 countries around the world, millions of listeners. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is recorded and produced in Canada. For more totally useless information, visit nickandroy.com. That's nickandroy.com. Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.